Asante sana former Prime Minister kwa sababu ya mazungumzo yako. Wakati huu nataka muniletee huyo mzee maumau mmoja ili tusitoke hapa, pia tunajisikia sauti hiyo ya maumau, na akimaliza kuna mtu mmoja tu atatuwekea kawimbo alafu tuarike Prime Minister, waziri mkuu aendeshe program. Kwa hivyo huyu mzee anakuja hapa, alikuwa msituni na anaitwa Brigadier Kifoko. Karibishe kwa makofi.
Kuona no itwaya twehete ikone andũ othe nginya nguru tukiohwo tũgĩthamio na no itwaya tũbanĩirwo nĩ andũ othe nginya ngati twatuĩtwo rũkũngũ nĩ nyakerũ gĩkũyũ Ngai akiuria mbura tũkĩhanda andũ aitũ mũtikorwo nĩ hinya kĩndũ kĩoma nĩ ũthingu wa mwĩrĩ na wendo wa Ngai ũrũmenya mbo
Nimurajibua Mwathani agocwo. Thai thai thayũ thayũ. Thengiũ nĩ ũndũ wa mũthenya ũyũ wa kinya, tondũ Ngai nĩ augĩte mũthenya ũyũ ũkorwo wĩho. Nĩ njiguaga kĩeha mũno ndanoka mũciĩ ũyũ, ndanarara kuo. Nĩ mũkũigua Gĩkũyũ kanjĩrie Gĩthweri? Gĩkũyũ nĩ mwetĩkĩra ũguo? Ndanarara mũciĩ ũyũ na twanarie na mama na anajira na nidanamwira yule mtu ambao anakaa karibu na ile mtu hapa anajua Kikuyu amweleze kwa Kikuyu. Sasa ndaongea kwa Kikuyu. Mutitorea muronorea nijikarete byake tatu itarede humba guo itareda cenjia guo itarede thamba ndatigira mutumia wakwa ena nda mĩeri ĩrĩ kana karĩa ciarire nĩ kũrĩa gathire. Rĩrĩa mũkwaria ũhoro wa wĩyathi na ngaigua mũkĩenda gũthaka na ũhoro wa wĩyathi nĩ kĩndũ kĩritũ mũno, na ũhoro wa maumau nĩ mũritũ. Mama ũyũ anjĩraga atĩrĩ, na nĩ gũcokera hau Kiboko uga areka moko undu wayo
ni mazishi.
Reke tuthikurie uga Kiboko Kimathi athikurio ĩ tige ndamuthika ngĩthiĩ kwa Ngai. Rĩu nĩ athiĩ, tondũ nĩ athiĩ rĩ nĩ amũthika makamu wa rais na rais nĩ ngũmũhoya ihoya. Mũtumia ũyũ agĩrirwo mũthenya wa Friday ndarĩ kamĩtĩ ndohetwo mĩaka 9 agĩtwarwo njera ĩrĩa atumia akegaĩrwo nĩ Kimathi agĩtũria atĩrĩrĩ mũkwenda ngere Kimathi atĩa? Nĩ mũmwĩre atĩrĩrĩ angorwo nĩ egũitwo aitwo nĩtũkonanĩra igũrũ kwa Ngai. Na tondũ akĩnyitwo marĩ na ndumu wa ithungĩru wa kũrĩa Gĩcĩra athiĩ nĩ ararire anjĩraga atĩrĩrĩ Kimathi amwona arũgire na igũrũ akĩmwĩra ndetĩkĩra nyina wa ciũri nduĩke igongona rĩa bũrũri ũyũ nduĩke kagondu ka bũrũri ũyũ no ũrĩa ũkendia tĩri tondũ nĩguo atũma ngue age kũgũra arorĩo nĩguo nĩkĩona mũndũ endia mũgũnda angĩaga kũgũra.
In Nyandarua County, this is Kinangop. The area is Jambine currently. Is one of the Mau leaders who is concerning fight. Without changing his clothes, without showering.
Rũcinĩ nĩarehirwo nĩ athũngwana mena mĩcinga nĩtwahũrĩte nguo tũkaiga nguo thĩgĩngĩ-inĩ twagĩtigwo njaga mũthũngũ ũrĩa amũrehete gĩthũngũ kĩarĩho gĩtagwo komokomo kiumĩte kũrĩa Nyeri Kĩng'ong'o igĩtwĩra atĩrĩrĩ ile mtu ambao unajua Purare Park ni maumau Dedan Kimathi toka haraka tukirigwa rauga atĩa agĩcokera rĩngĩ.
This is the burial ceremony of the late Elders Mukami Kimathi, the wife to Dedan Kimathi, currently taking place, or rather underway, in Kinangop. This is Nyandarua County. Speeches from different leaders have actually happened, and as we speak right now, the one who is currently speaking is one of the Mau leaders, or rather fighters, just narrating what used to happen. And he has just talked of how he stayed in the forest for close to 6 years without bathing, without showering, without changing clothes, all in efforts to ensure that the country got its freedom. This burial has been attended by the President William Ruto, as well as the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, and also was Azimio leader Raila Odinga, who has actually finished his speech some few minutes ago, just had his speech some few minutes ago. And as we speak, he has actually talked of several things, narrated how he used to associate with the late Mukami, how he actually helped one of the grandson to travel to India to study, and also talked about how they actually bought a house for the late Mukami in Athi River, where she was living. Odinga narrating how the Mau fighters, how the government between the Grand Coalition government, between the late Mwai Kibaki and himself, tried to sort out the issue to do with the Mau fighters. He actually narrated how they tried to build, or rather they built a monument at Uhuru Park with the names of the freedom fighters, Mau leaders or Mau fighters being part of those names that were encrypted in the monument at Uhuru Park. The former Prime Minister also narrating how they used to visit various areas, including in Nyeri County. And in the process, he has also talked about issues to do with the current leadership. Of course, the speakers who had given their speech earlier on, including the leaders from the Nyandarua County, the member of parliament and member of parliaments from other constituencies, calling on Azimio leader Raila Odinga to call off, or rather not to go back to demonstrations and allow the government to act. But in response, Odinga has talked about him working with the President William Ruto and said that he knows him better and he will continue telling him if issues are not going as expected. And of course, he has talked about the cost of living and told the president to ensure that he has looked into that matter of the cost of living, especially matters to do with the tax, the increase in, or rather introduction of some taxes. Remember the finance bill that is currently before the National Assembly has some proposals and tax measures that the government has actually introduced. And the former Prime Minister and Azimio leader Raila Odinga, of course, calling on President William Ruto to look into that matter and not to have new taxes, or rather to have the introduction of new taxes, as the cost of living is still high and Kenyans can barely be able to deal with the cost of living and barely have a meal. Well, we're going to listen to what the Mau Mau leader is currently saying.
Sidio. Thank you sana. Asante sana gavana wa kwetu Nyandarua kwa kupatia basi hii niongee hiyo, maana nasumbua kichwa yangu zaidi. Na ndigucokeria gavana wa Nyandarua ngatho uria arikuo mbere. Ndamwirire kwina andu mena rithathi mwiri itari ciarutwo.
Well, one of the Mau Mau leaders are still giving his speech, telling the residents of Nyandarua County, specifically this being Kinangop, in Kinangop Jabine, just next to the Sasumua Dam, where the late LLC Mukami Kimathi will be laid to rest. It's just narrating and also speaking, or rather calling on the current Nyandarua government to work on few issues here and there. And of course, calling on the area governor, Badilisha, to see how they can help out in helping the Mau Mau as well as other freedom fighters. And as I was giving you just a bit of what a sneak preview of Odinga's speech. And of course, we are looking forward to what the Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi will talk about, as well as the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, and also what President William Ruto will put as part of his speech. Of course, having been called upon by the Azimio leader, the opposition leader, to check into, or rather to look into the cost of living. We expect the president, of course, to maybe highlight what the government is seeking to do. And this Nyandarua County being one of the counties that is well known with matters to do with farming, the area leaders have really called on the president to help them to ensure that they have actually enhanced farming in the best way possible, so that they are, and also have good roads in this area, so that their production, their food commodities can be taken to markets in the best way possible with good roads. And several of the roads that have been mentioned, of course, lead to this area, to Jambine, where we're going to be crossing over to just listen to what is going on.
Bila kubadilisha guo, bila kuoga, mpaka nafikiri hiyo ni mzuri, na kwa niaba ya Haya. Asante Brigadier.